Horse players, past performances of the Los Alamitos Nighttime Quarter and Thoroughbred races are now featured nightly in all print PM editions of the Daily Racing Form. You can now find the Los Alamitos PPs nationwide. Check out the past performances in the East, South, Midwest, Pacific Northwest, and even Canada PM editions. That's expanded national print coverage of Los Alamitos in the Daily Racing Form. Playing the Los Alamitos races with past performances in hand has never been easier. For more, follow us on Twitter or Instagram at Los Al Racing.
Hi, everybody. Dan Illman and Mike Beer, the DRFBets Race of the Day for Sunday, August the 18th, the Grade 2 Del Mar Mile. From where? Del Mar. It's race number 7. It is a nice race. You can bet it with a DRFBets account. Sign up, get a $100 deposit match at drf.com/bet. Let's meet this very competitive group. You can access free formulator past performances on the Race of the Day event page at drf.com. Download them, handicap along with us. We'll take this field in post-position order. And the number 1, Prince Earl, did some good things as a 3-year-old, Mike, but this just seems like a very tough spot off an 8.5-month layoff.
Yeah, I think it is. It's pretty ambitious for them to bring him back in this race. We'll see what we get from him. He showed potential last year, I thought. If I'm being honest, I didn't love his 2 stakes tries. I didn't really think he ran, great races there. He did have a wide trip in the Hollywood Derby last time. I think the mile's better for him. I just couldn't talk myself into him here off this kind of layoff.
Then number 2 is El Picaro, just another one of those South American Group 1 winners that hasn't transferred that form just yet to North America. His Wise Dan, he was okay, just an even performance. He did take some money in that race. Last time out, he showed more speed, and I always like it when they show speed in either their second start or their second start in this country, but he was still run over by some nice horses, Bandua and The Great Day. He has a lot to prove, but maybe cutting back to a mile is going to be the key.
Yeah, I like him turning back a little bit. I think this distance could work for him. I'm just starting to wonder how good he is. I thought he was maybe okay in the Wise Dan. I didn't love that performance. I liked the ride that he got last time. He was just no match for those horses. It's not like this is that much of an easier spot. I don't know, Dan. If he was a big price, I'm not going to argue really, but he's another horse I couldn't talk myself into.
The number 3, Majestic Eagle, is remarkably consistent. He has earned 90 Beyer speed figures in 5 out of his last 7 races. The problem is the Beyer par for this race is likely in the triple-digit range. Majestic Eagle got a nice win in that Grade 3 American last time out. But I think these are tougher horses. He'll get the right pace scenario. He's got to do better.
Yeah, that was a nice win last time. I agree with it. He probably has to do better. And it was one of those races that came down to that 3-horse photo at the end. I'll give him credit for getting the job done. I just don't think if he repeats that performance, he's going to win this race.
Perseverance is paid off for Dick Mandela in the 4 Bombard, a 6-year-old with only 12 lifetime starts. It's actually nice to see him with 3 races in a row now without a layoff line. He got away to a nice, easy lead in the Wicker last time out. That was a very clever ride by Flavien Prat, getting him to the front, backing down the fractions, and then holding them off. He is capable of rating with some other speeds in this race. As we take a look at the Timeform US pace projector, I'm not sure Bombard's as fast as some of the others. Timeform US believes he is.
Yeah, I didn't see him on the lead in this race either. I think he's going to probably take a tracking trip. Listen, it's almost a miracle that this is his 3rd race in a row without a layoff. I guess that's a good sign for him. I wasn't blown away with his Wicker last time, but he did get it done after a soft trip on the lead. Maybe he can do better than that, Dan.
Pratt gave Bombard a nice ride in the Wicker. He gave Bowie's Hero a really nice ride in the Eddie Reed. He got him covered up in between horses, eased out for a seam in the top of the stretch, and Bowie's Hero reached back to some of that back class. He won the Kilroe in 2018, and he ran those horses down. I liked Bowie's Hero that day. I like him as a horse. I like him at Del Mar. I like him at a mile. I don't like the Eddie Reed overall as a race.
I didn't love that race either. I will give him credit for getting it done, mostly because I feel like a 1.8 miles isn't really his best distance. I think he's a much better horse over a mile. So the fact that he was able to win that race and now he's going to turn back to what I think is a better distance for him, I think all of those things point to him running a good race here.
Double Touch pulled off a $60 shocker in the 2018 Wicker, so we know he likes this course. The question is he in that same kind of form? It's his 3rd race back. Maybe they've been pointing for this race all along. But in this year's Wicker, he was up right close to Bombard, and Bombard ran away from him, and it's not like they were going fast early. The blinkers come on for Double Touch, who has some tactical speed.
He does. Maybe he'll get another good trip. But he got a good trip last time. He was a big price again in the Wicker last time. He was no match for Bombard. I didn't see him in this race.
The number 7, Grecian Fire, we see him in mid-pack on this pace projector, and he got a setup last time out in the Cal Dreaming for California bred thoroughbreds going a mile and a 16th. They went very fast early, but Grecian Fire overcame a little bit of traffic. I like the way he finished that race off. He is obviously in good form for a good trainer in Keith DeZormo. 6-1 on the morning line is a fair price on a sharp horse who just needs to run slightly faster.
Yeah, I think he does too. It's interesting because I think this is a race where, for me anyway, I wanted a price. I feel like maybe he could be one. When you go back to him as a 3-year-old, you know, he was kind of no match for some of these horses then, but he was running good races. And then for whatever reason, they just decided that they didn't want to run him on turf anymore last year. It was very sparingly that they ran him on the grass, but he ran some good races. DeSormo put him right back on the turf last time. Yes, he had pace to run into, but he did overcome some trouble. Like you, I liked the way he finished that day. I think he fits pretty well in this race.
What a View is a Grade 1 winner. He won the Kilroe back in 2016, and his most recent race I think has to be considered fairly promising. It was his first race in over a year in the Cal Dreaming. He was the one that set that legitimate pace up front, and he understandably got tired late. With that race under his girth, he can be a lot tougher in this spot. The question is Bolo going to let him go to the lead? Is What a View going to rate? And if they duel, they're both in big trouble.
Yeah, the pace is going to be very important in this race. We'll see if What a View can just get out there all on his own, because if he can, he's a very dangerous horse. I still don't think he's in the kind of form that he was in when he was at his best a couple of years ago, but last time was a step in the right direction.
Last time certainly a step in the right direction for the oft-injured Bolo. We know when Bolo is good, he is a very fast turf horse, and last time out in the Shoemaker Mile, Florent Giroux got him to the lead at 33-1, and I wonder if it was a case where a lot of these other riders just didn't respect Bolo, and he made them pay in the stretch. He has been freshened since that race. It's obvious he's had his share of problems. Can Bolo rate? He did in the Arcadia in 2017, and something tells me if he does rate, he's going to sit off What a View, and he's going to be ready to pounce turning into the stretch.
Yeah, I think he can rate too. I don't think he has to absolutely have the lead to win. You know, to me, in a lot of ways, he just might be the most talented horse. I don't know if I still think he's as good as he once was, but he did run well last time with the best trip in the race. He was a huge price then. You're going to take a fraction of that this time. But in a lot of ways, I feel like he might be the horse to beat.
I have some questions for you about Sharp Samurai, who's a horse that I have a tremendous amount of respect for. He did some very good work as a 4-year-old. Is it a situation where he has not come back as good this year? 3 starts in 2019 have been somewhat subpar. I think you can make the argument that there have been some trips in those races, though. In the Eddie Reed last time out, he got bumped both sides at the start, and he just ended up on a 3-4 wide chase in a race without much pace. While the winner, Bowie's Hero, was covered up, Sharp Samurai was losing ground. Now, in the stretch, he was just going up and down. It didn't look like the Sharp Samurai of 2018, which makes me concerned that maybe he's lost a step.
Yeah, I didn't like the trip he got last time, but I also didn't think he ran that well. I didn't really like his race 2-back all that much, even though he just missed. He was really no threat to Bolo 3-back either. I don't know. I don't really like his recent form. I know he has better races than that. If you can get a price on him, I wouldn't argue. I just wonder what kind of price he'll be, and I wonder if he's as good as he once was.
Ohio completes this field, and he won probably the closest bob of the year in the Kilroe when he got a really nice ride from Fuentes. This is a horse that pulls very hard in the early portion of his races. Fuentes got him to relax that day. Catapult got jammed up in behind horses, and Ohio held him off. Since then, though, the waters have gotten deeper. He hasn't been able to get as close to the front or on the lead, and he's paid the price. From this outside post, Johnny V's got to sit with him.
Yeah, I think he does too. Listen, he's another horse in this race who's got a race in him that would put him there at the end. I'm not his biggest fan, but there's a way to look at him and feel like if he runs his best race, he's a contender.
So many different ways to go in the Grade 2 Del Mar Mile. Let's take a look at our top selections. You like the way Grecian Fire finished it off. You like this pace scenario for him. He obviously likes Del Mar.
Yeah, I just thought that this was a really tough race. I struggled with it. I just didn't really want a short price on anybody in here. I really felt like Grecian Fire was going to drift off that morning line. If he's a good price, I'll take a shot with him. I put him over Bolo.
I'm very happy that Bolo draws outside of What a View. If it was the other way around, I think Bolo's hand would be forced and he would have to go. Drawing outside of What a View gives the jockey some options. I think they let What a View go. I think Bolo sits second. They're going to be going fast up front, but Bolo's a pretty good horse, and if he turns into the stretch in a prominent position, he's got the guts to fend these off. I'm going 9-10, 5-4 in the Del Mar Mile. Your Sunday DRFBets Race of the Day. Bet it with your DRFBets account and a $100 deposit match. Approximate post time for a really good edition of the Del Mar Mile, 5 o'clock Pacific on Sunday. Good luck.